Hey, Mighty Peeps, back for some Thursday tips. Let's talk about email and are people actually reading your emails? Are they opening those emails? You've done a lot of hard work. You've worked on the list building things. You've participated in events. You've got your opt ins, your landing pages, or you're still working on those things. But what if you've been doing all of those great things and then you've been starting to see that drop off? Not getting the big numbers anymore for your open rates. It's one of the good side, bad side sort of things of building an email community and having more people that you can connect with and communicate with is that over time, fewer of them actually open the emails. And so we're going to talk a little bit about what happens. What can we do? There are four basic reasons why somebody isn't opening one of our emails. One of them's technical. It's that the recipient's email client, the thing where we read the emails, is that Outlook? Is that Gmail? Is that Yahoo? Is that something else? That system isn't recognizing the one pixel image that's in there that tracks whether or not somebody opens an email. In fact, I actually saw an article the other day that talked about it called those spy pixels. I'm like, oh no, no. And the article was basically all about how to go to turn off your image settings so that you can't be tracked. So, how many of our potential audience members, how many of our potential clients have gone in and turned off images by default? My long time Yahoo account has images off by default. So I know it's not actually tracking my own emails. Even though I've opened it, it's not going to look like I opened it. Gmail tends to static and it's not refreshing images. And so the point is, there's a technical reason why people may be opening your emails, but it's not registering in your system that they've opened it. Not a lot we can do about that. The second reason that our systems show that somebody's not opening one of our emails, that our subject line wasn't terribly enticing, so they didn't click it. Number three, the email went to the promotions folder, not the end of the world. Technically, it might be a promotion, or worse, it went to the spam folder. We definitely don't want that, and I've seen some of my friends' newsletters recently end up there. Sometimes that happens because, A, we can ask people to whitelist us. We have a little bit of control over that, add us to their contacts. And if you've got a very brand new email list, you have just changed to a new email provider, you are brand new and you are just working on building your list, you don't yet have a reputation score, and you may wind up in the spam or the promos folder. So make sure you tell people to go check for you there. But again, not a lot we can control. The fourth reason is the person just decided that they'd had enough. They weren't opening emails today. They just went and deleted a whole bunch of them all at once, sent things to a folder, trashed them, deleted them, didn't open them. We only have control, really, over item number two, our subject lines. So it behooves us in working on all those other great things that are technical about deliverability and verifying our domains and some other stuff we're not talking about today. Today, we're just talking about what are some quick tips that we can do to write better email subjects? Something that gets noticed in somebody's email inbox that we know is crowded and that makes them go, oh, I want to open this. I want to see this. Now, if you're on my community and you're on my list, I really hope you are, mightymarketingmojo.com, then you know I send some good stuff. My people are constantly telling me. In fact, they sent me a lot of emails this week telling me that I send them good things. And I love that. I loved hearing from you. Thank you so much. So, for example, I sent out an email last week, and the subject line was even RuPaul does this. I used some copywriting email subject line hacks. I used a popular name, a popular celebrity, and added in a curiosity factor. Well, what does RuPaul do? And I had somebody reply and tell me, you know, I had to click and open that because I had to know, what does RuPaul do? And the answer had to do with ring lights. But I didn't just say in the email subject line, RuPaul says use a ring light. I used curiosity as well as the celebrity factor. So we've got a couple of quick tips that we can use. You can use emotion. We can use emotional words, power words, things that evoke, inspire, persuade, direct an action. What are the words that you're using in your subject lines? You can absolutely use questions. You can use numbers. Those things work very well in blog headlines and they work very well in email subject lines. There are people who've gone out and studied both other small businesses, consultants, as well as every major email marketing service out there, and all of the big tools that are all about landing pages and opt-in forms have all been doing studies basically showing that there are patterns. We are creatures of pattern and habit. Hey, Sheila, good to have you here. That we are creatures of pattern and habit. So they know that there are like a dozen different types of emails that all of us can tweak and fit for our business and our niches, and that they work because at the core, we humans are simple creatures and we're going to respond to those sorts of things. The number one thing, the number one key type of an email subject line you can use to get a good response is curiosity. People want to know more. You have that element of mystery or intrigue, and you've teased somebody. They're going to want to click. They want to know what is it that RuPaul did. They want to know. I've used questions and curiosity go together. I've used those in the last few emails that I've done. Use curiosity. Now you want curiosity, not confusion. Don't get overly cute. But curiosity, absolutely. Get people wondering what's going on and pay it off inside the email. Questions go hand in hand, like I said, with curiosity. It opens a loop in people's brains. And when there's an open loop, it's like, if you've ever, I'm going to date myself, Roger Rabbit in the animated movie, and there's a long running gag in there where he goes, knocks on the door, doot, 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 and he doesn't do doot, doot. It's like called shaving a haircut, and it literally, it opened a loop in Roger's brain to the point where he literally like explodes on screen and turns red because he has to finish the loop. He can't help it. Same thing works for all of us. When you open that loop and that question, people want to know the answer. We can talk about things like success, alluding to success being something positive. People want to know, how did you get there? If there's an email sub that says something about, how I made X this month, how I got 5 new clients this month, how I got on 2 podcasts this month, how my clients hit 5 figures saved this year. People are like, cool. How'd you do that? And they want to know more. They want success. The other part of that is inspiration and outcome, which is a little more specific than success. That's getting to that, like, what specific outcome they got. Like, we did X and this result happened. Because it goes to the other side of that great copywriting formula in terms of talking about problems and pain. And if there's a problem out there and your customers are in some kind of a struggle, if there's a pain, if there's a situation, if there is something they're not getting that they need or they want and they need you, what is the thing that's missing? Can you allude to the thing that's missing in the subject line of the email? And then offer them a solution, offer them a better outcome, offer them inspiration in the email body itself. And the sixth one was that urgency and scarcity does work. FOMO, fear of missing out, is real. You can use it. Plus, it's just generally a good reminder. It's good to remind people that if there's a deadline coming up before an offer runs out, we all know. We're all waiting. We know somebody else is going to send us one more email about a sale. It's also why you send somebody letting them know you're about to go live in 15 minutes, making sure that they know that the course that they registered for is starting live. Reminding them that the membership Q&A call is tonight at 6 p.m. That was one of the emails that I clicked before I got on this call. I know what Cindy's email was about, but it was really helpful that was the reminder. That was the reminder to log in, what time everything was tonight. Yep, thank you. In fact, in that case, you could argue, did I need to open the email? Because the email subject line told me and reminded me of what I needed. But those are 6 ways we can work on improving our email subject lines right now, right today, all of us, anybody, even if you're writing emails one to one, you're writing an email to ask for a referral, you're checking in with a past client, you can still touch on aspects of success, of curiosity, of asking a question to have that connection. Hey, Stephanie, good to have you here too. Now, I also promised you that I was going to give you a peek inside some things that I've been working on. So, I've been working on testing subject lines in my own email. I do this from time to time. I don't do it nearly as often as I should. I know some business owners who split test every single email they do. If you do, that's awesome. Put it in the comments, drop me a line, let me know how that's going for you. Every email marketing service lets you split test, and the easiest version of testing is two different subject lines. You send them 50-50 to your list. The software does all of the hard work. It sends half your peeps one subject line, half your peeps the next one. You want to get more complicated, you have a bigger list, you can tell it to send the two tests out, and then based on an initial batch of emails going out, it figures out which the winner is and then resends the rest of the emails just to the winner. I prefer running them just 50-50 and then looking at the data afterwards, because I know that some people don't open my emails the day they get my Monday email or my Thursday email. So give it a little bit more time. I will also share that I'm not the only one who's been working on email marketing and subject line tricks lately. That there's other smarties in my inbox who believe in transparency and behind the scenes like I am. And so that Dan Morris at BC Stack, Dan is working on his wife Rachel's podcast and the book and the BC Stack this year. And Dan shared that he did some email tests for their huge list with BC Stack. And he knew that his email open rates weren't as high as he wanted, and he knew that the one thing he can control was the subject line. So he went and he wrote a different subject line and he tested it and he sent it out to his list. And then the ninja trick that he took one step further was he resent to a segment that his email said, these peeps haven't opened. For whatever reason, these peeps are showing up as not having opened and read the most recent email. So he took the new revised winning email subject and used it to resend that email to that segment who had not previously shown as opened it, and then like 40% more of people of that segment opened. So now all of a sudden he's got a much bigger percentage of his list who have opened his email because he tested and he found a better combination of words that caught people's brains, and so they opened. So I run just some tests this week, and I'm going to do the share screen thing, and we're going to share a screen. Yep. And tell it what I want to share. I want to share this. Yes, thank you. So, boom. There it is. I made a really whiz-bang graphic, right, folks? This is just PowerPoint. We all know that, right? Just really quickly, graphically showing, you all can tell at a glance one of those emails did better than the other. The one on the right did better. And it had a higher click-through rate as well as a higher open rate. Now, is it a statistically significant higher open rate? Probably not. You're going to have to ask me to go back and remember my stats classes from grad school to figure out whether the 1.5% to 2% difference between them is statistically significant. The point is there was a difference. Yeah. Definitely a bigger difference in terms of the click-through rate. It's still low. It's still lower than it used to be, and it's lower than I'd like it to be. So there are things we can do like re-engagement campaigns, and I need to probably purge some of my list that they're not as active. That would help the rates go up. But this is just showing you it was a really easy test to run. And the other reason I'm showing you this is because that wasn't necessarily the result I expected. Based on past split tests to my own list, I had guessed, truly a gut level hypothesis here, that the email subject line that had a question in it that said, want better email open rates question, was going to do better because questions had generally done better to my list in the past. And that it also offered, want better email want better email rates question, then it also said 5 tips. So I used a question and a number. But that was not the one that did better. It was don't make these email marketing mistakes was the one that you can see clearly had a better open and a better click-through rate. Small sample size, folks. So test and then keep testing and make similar tests like question versus not question, numbers versus not numbers, straight out statement versus a little more of a curious tease. I tested today's email too. I gave it 2 different subject lines in the email that I sent out for my Thursday tips email, and I have not gone and peeked yet. I don't know what that is, so you're going to have to wait and find out. And I will share in my group or on my page and let you know what those results were. But I need to keep testing. I need to do this over time. I could also go back and take, say, Monday's email, which is about email, kind of meta, and resend it to the portion of my list that didn't open it the first time and use that winning email subject line and see if that makes a difference. Especially if I could figure out, sending it to the side of the list that didn't get that one the first time. The folks who I know who are more likely to send or resend an email is if it's a promotion, if it's something time sensitive. Um, Monday's email is a learning email. There wasn't a promotion involved in it, but it would still be curious. It would be an experiment if I resent it out with a different subject line. It's hit and miss, folks. If this is an experiment, marketing is a bit of an experiment. Test, test, test. So one of the things that we can do in terms of getting better is there are various tools that we can use. So I've got 2 open on, let's see if I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to remove that. And we're going to share a different part of my screen. Questions, throw them in. What have you been seeing in your emails lately? What have you been seeing in your open rates? What do you think your community is most likely to respond to? Are they going to respond to inspiring lines? Are they going to respond to a story, a question? What have you seen lately in the email that you've sent out? While I swap which screen I'm going to show, I'm going to share 2 tools that can help you to write better email subject lines. So there we go. So this is one of the tools that I like. This is a tool called ShareThrough. ShareThrough scores your headlines or, blog headlines, email subject lines, same diff. You can put it and you can enter it in here and get a score. So for example, let me go find, let's see. I'm going to trying to call up my email. We could say, we'll try the one with RuPaul even. Spell right. RuPaul does this. Now, that's what's short. That's short for a blog post and it's short for an email. Short and sweet can sometimes work really well, better than really long. So the interesting thing is because this ShareThrough tool is predominantly focused on blog posts, it's like, whoa, this isn't good enough. It's not long enough. Because on a blog post, longer is even better. And it wants me to use more alert words. Alert words are those things, those emotional words. You can click it and find out what things like afraid, scare, risk. Yeah, talk about body context words. Yes, capturing, building trust, all of that. Pretty cool. The point is that it gives you a score and then explains and makes some suggestions on what you can do to improve things. Take it with a grain of salt. Definitely go in and find and download their lists for things like how to go get alert words. It says try adding a celebrity. Dude, I did add a celebrity. RuPaul is the celebrity. How do you not recognize this, ShareThrough? But the point is it's a cool tool to play around with to work on improving your writing. The other one, and this one is new. I've been with ActiveCampaign for a little over 2 years, and I did not know they had this free tool. Not sure how long they've had this free tool, but this is the email subject line generator from ActiveCampaign, which is my preferred email tool. So it's really pretty cool that there's a subject line guide. So they have tips. They want your emails to be better. Reflects better on them too when you have better scores and you have more opens, and it helps them, but they want you to be a happy client and a happy customer. So you can generate subject lines and like, cool. So basically it says, okay, so you can put in keywords in a keyword category. Benefits, pain points. Those are what we were talking about. Remember about success, problems, pain points, outcomes, benefit, outcome. There we go. Topic, pain point. So, I don't know, pain point, and the keyword here is email opens. Let's see if that actually qualifies as a keyword and what it suggests for me. Well, it did. Okay. I'm all about this actually. The uncomfortable truth about email opens. I probably should have used that. I'm guessing more of you would have opened if I'd used something even like that. How to fix things. The notion of teaching. You can absolutely do that because now you're going to, well, yeah, I want to fix my email opens. And I gave you 6 tips on how to do that. Today's email actually was a tease. It told you to come to the video to watch and get the tips on how to fix your open rates. So the point is there are several tools out there. This is one of them. ShareThrough is one. I shared in the email today the emotional value headline analyzer is another headline analyzer that you can work on. CoSchedule has one, but they keep putting it behind a gate, and I don't want to have to keep registering every time I want to try and use CoSchedule's headline analyzer. There are probably other tools that use for blog post title generators that you could use to also practice for your email subjects. They're all playing off of those key things we talked about curiosity, about asking questions, using numbers, getting to success, talking about people's problems or pain points, offering them an outcome or a solution or an inspiration, or getting to a little bit of urgency and scarcity. Those are 6 things that any of us can do no matter what niche we're in, that we can improve the subject lines, which is already going to help us up the odds that somebody's going to open our email and take action on it. So this is awesome. So Sheila is saying, yeah, it's a great tool in ActiveCampaign, and we don't think ConvertKit has anything like that. I have a dummy test account with ConvertKit, and I'm going to take a look for it, but I don't think I've seen it either. And so this is a really pretty cool thing to play with, and this is even free. I don't have to be logged into my ActiveCampaign. You can go use this. Anybody can go use this. I shared this to the Mighty Marketing Mojo page today, a link to the ActiveCampaign tool. So I'd urge you all to go out and play with it no matter what email marketing service that you're using. Play with it for your next email line. I highly encourage you to take some time and whatever emails that you are sending to your community for the rest of this month, test 2 variations. See what your community responds to. Mine used to respond a lot to questions. Maybe they're not. Again, maybe it was just that one. I'm going to do it all this month. I'm letting you know that right now. I'm committing to that this month. All my email subject lines are going to get tested, and I'm going to let you know the results at the end of the month and keep reporting back in. Sheila said, yes, you did the channel line analyzer to check today. And I saw your email, Sheila, and I liked your email, and there was good stuff in there. So it clearly worked. I opened it. So encouragement also, if you're a member of the Mighty Marketing Mojo group, come share any of your emails if you want to get extra feedback, you want eyeballs, you want to talk about any of your email subjects. If you have other tools that you want to share within the group to help improve writing your headlines and your subject lines, come share away. I'm definitely going to be putting the links to the other tools that I have mentioned inside the group as well. So let's all go out this month and work on getting better open rates through the one thing we absolutely truly have control over, and that's the subject line that shows up in people's inboxes. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you some extra tips. I hope you go out and you connect with your people this month. Thank you, Sheila. I'm so glad it helped. And I will see everybody next week. Completely different topic. I'm excited about share about one of my other absolute favorite tools with you next week. Have a mighty week, everybody.